Hey guys, Ben here from Cinderblock Studios, and the legacy of Jim Gentner continues because I just inherited about a third of his old studio. Stick around. So about a month ago, Jim's wife, Linda, dropped me a message on Facebook and said, hey, not a lot of people in our family, or really nobody, are artists. Would you like Jim's old brushes? And I was like, wow, yeah, I'd be honored. And that's actually what I did today. Is I went over to her place and kind of helped her kind of clean some stuff up because things are still in that process for her. And I also got some stuff. I have this box and 4 boxes on the floor and some other odds and ends because I went for brushes and ended up with a whole lot more. So again, I'm very honored that I was sort of chosen to get some of this stuff passed on to, and I hope today in this video you guys are excited enough to look through this stuff with me. I only sort of know what's here. I kind of look through stuff brief enough to know that I'm going to take it or not, but at this point now I've got a load of stuff and I don't know what to do with all of it, but I'm very happy to have it and to help continue to work with Jim's legacy and continue to have his supplies in use. So let's start with this box here. So this is one of the ones that caught my attention. There was just like a whole bunch of stuff in the corner of the floor, and put some tape on these, and they're just little drawers to hold them shut because I did not want all these falling out in the car. And let's just see what we got. Also, I've got dinner, this and a sandwich and some fries. So if you see me reaching for something in this video, that's what I'm doing. So as I mentioned before, this unit has a whole bunch of little drawers in it. I don't even actually really know what's in all of them. Some of this stuff I'll have to kind of reorganize. There's some spacer chips for a canvas. These are plastic numbers. Eraser refills for, I think probably one of those like clutch pencil erasers. Yeah, these look like labels for different things. I don't know what all of them were for initially, but numbers. These might be decals or something, or they might just be paper. Not really sure. Oh, this is like 15 or 20 nibs for dip pens. I actually just recently got a dip pen, and most of these are really pretty much similar to each other. So it's like a whole pack of several packs of nibs. There's more nibs. This looks like a amp splitter for a guitar. I'll put them in there. Oh, these are calipers for measuring. This one seems to be stuck. I'll mess with that later. But yeah, spacer, caliper spacers. Oh no, it's a compass. Yeah. Oh wait, what? Yeah. These are all old compasses. There's a spike on this end, and there's a piece of graphite here. So yeah, there's several different compasses. Enough glazing points to mount any kind of frame imaginable. Okay, I have no idea what these are. If anybody knows what any of this stuff is in comments, let me know. Anything that I may or may not know what they are. That's a big pair of tweezers. Love the old casing on this stuff too. This is sandpaper. I'm not sure why it's got a little tab on it, but it does. Probably something specialty for something. Who knows? Oh, yeah, it's a brush. Okay. Files. I don't know. Ooh, here's a gem. Really old boxes. Drawing lead. So probably this is either mechanical pencil. I think I saw some clutch pencils in it initially. 2H. It's a whole set. These are Eagle. This has got to be another one of those brands that isn't made anymore. Is there a date on this? This patent is listed for 1935. I don't know if they're actually this old. But, yeah, he's definitely used a few of these over the years. Stuff. Oh, here's a whole nother set of awesome stuff. Marking leads. Oh, shit. These are really, really interesting. Stop. Okay, I'll stop. So these actually look like matchbooks a lot. How far packaging has come. Yeah, they're just little sticks of graphite. The Listo Pencil Corporation in Alameda, California. How much you want to bet they don't exist either? Coronor, they're still in business. That's a 4B. More 4B leads. Some more of those turquoise leads. This one, there's some 2Bs, and there's some more 2Bs. 2B or not 2B. That's a 4B. These are a little more common. These are mechanical pencil leads. Pretty sure this is 15 cents. Yeah, this I've seen before. These kind of old tubes. These are mechanical pencil leads as well. Looks like there's some red in there. That's pretty interesting. Oh, yeah, here we go. 3 erasers, 25 cents. There's a couple in there, I think. Yeah, there's one. It looks like the end of a pencil. There's a little bit of a silver edge there. And these are old mechanicals. It's been a while since I've seen these. Probably like 10 years since I've seen one of these. Actually, these might still be classified as clutch pencils, I'm not sure. The little click of a mechanical pencil, at least in modern ones, that's a relatively new thing, and this is a lot of what the older ones were like. Yeah, more of these real nice old compasses. Yes, all those smaller drawing leads would then go into here. Oh man, there's a whole mess of blades. X-Acto blades. I don't see a number on this one. These are like the regular ones you're probably thinking of in an X-Acto knife are number 11 blades. This is like a 15 or maybe a 12. And then I actually have no idea what this is. Oh no, this is the holder for the, yeah. So these are, might even be broken for all I know, or extender pieces for the blades. This is a lead holder, I think. No, that's just a spike. That's metal. Yeah. So there's one of those alternate blades in there. At least I think so. Unless this is an extension piece for that, I don't know. Alright, so this is not an art supply. It's actually probably the weirdest thing I found sitting in the pile of stuff. I looked up and it said cutlery, and I'm like, cutlery? Like, what was in his stuff that said cutlery? And picked this thing up, and I'm like, where did this come from? And he was like, oh, I don't know if that was something he bought or something that we were given, but it's a dragon knife. So I was like, yeah, sure. This is an interesting thing. So it's a dragon knife. It has like a display mount, so it's clearly a not practical item. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so it's just sort of a weird display item. But I was like, all right, it's a dragon knife. It's one of the weirdest looking things I've ever seen. And it's like, do you want it? I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll take it. This box I'm just going to show because I don't feel like opening this thing again. It's a pretty large and ridiculous box. It's got inside of it an old slide projector. What am I going to do with an old slide projector? I don't know. if I can find a buyer for it, I may end up selling it. But old Kodak slide projector, 35mm, its own box and case and everything. So it's one of the things that I have now. There's also a big stack of illustration board, which, you know, again, some of these edges are a little screwy, so I'll probably trim some of this down and clean these up, but it's a nice batch of stuff. There's a pane of glass in here I can make a couple palettes out of, as well as a piece of plexi further back, and a really nice piece of Strathmore that's like pretty much brand new illustration board. So, you know, nice stuff. Just little supplemental supplies and that kind of thing. Now this caught my attention. This is an old book of illustrations that's like old Pittsburgh and things like that. So there's old photographs in here, as well as a number of these old ink illustrations, which are really, really cool. I was told that Jim's cityscapes, a lot of them were sort of, he would use these as reference photos and things like that, which I thought to be rather interesting. This whole thing is printed on like a bunch of watercolor paper, so it actually feels a lot like an old drafter's book or something like that. Really interesting design work and everything in here. Plus, again, these big, tall ink illustrations I really, really love. They're going to be it's going to be a great inspiration book for me, as well as just a way to just kind of explore some history, because I do really enjoy looking at this stuff. Here's another thing that's going to be just a thing to have. This was his paint box for traveling. Nice simple wooden box. It's compartmentalized, which is really good. You can see the stains from his oil paints in here. Really, really cool thing. Plus the top section kind of lifts and pivots like that. I'm tempted to clean this up, but I'm also tempted not to clean it up because I feel like it would ruin some of the mystique to the old box. I do think I want to clean it up a little bit, give it a light sanding, and then maybe stain it, just to be sure that it's clean and that I would want to use it for something. But it is a really nice old box. I don't want to completely get rid of all the paint stains because, well, I'd really have to sand it down for that. But I just kind of want to give it a little bit of a cleaning up, because I think just with a simple stain, this could be a really nice box, just all around. So, yeah, something else from the set. Now we're into the two big boxes. These are brushes, among other things. There's a whole handful of these watercolor pans, mixing pans. These I'm probably going to give to a friend of mine. So these are all little ceramic dishes and things like that. Really interesting. Probably hold on to at least one of these. Oh, hello. We have just an aluminum. I think I have a plastic one of these somewhere. Pretty simple. Company that made this is actually a Pittsburgh company. What do you know? Just roll of shipping tape. Now, to get these brushes in this box, I had to take them out of the original containers, which I didn't really want to do. I wanted to kind of keep them where they were, but just getting them home kind of had it. So this is a really nice measuring tool of sorts. Whole lot of dots. This feels way more architectural. Also a whole lot of measurements this way for degrees of things, and who knows how useful this will be to me, but it was in the stuff with everything else. There was also some of these triangle rulers, which need a little bit of a bath, so probably a quick wipe down with some rubbing alcohol. This is a plastic one. There's a wood one in here. This I almost didn't take, but it was in with the brushes. So when I looked at this, I thought this belonged on an easel. And then I was told that one thing Jim used to do is just make tools. Just if you need something, just made up a tool. So this may have been made of pieces of a pieces of an easel, who knows? Again, if anyone recognizes what this thing might be, if it actually has a use. But there's just different sizes of these slots, maybe some sort of a brush holder, like this, or, you know, whatever, like as you're working, you can kind of do that with, possibly. That's maybe my guess for that, but I don't know. So, yeah. And of course, like me, all of his brushes were in interesting containers. Well, my containers are a little less interesting. So this is a jar of sorts. 99 cents at some store. Actually a rather nice ceramic pot. Just fairly basic, and these two are a little more modern, these containers. Some kind of Italian something or other. Yeah, these are just little home containers from home stores. And then the whole mess of these brushes. And a lot of them are really rough. They're really rough. I was sort of expecting, yeah, maybe there'll be some nice brushes in here. And there are some nice brushes in here, but they're heavily used. Like, I mean, the amount of paint on this painting knife was crazy. And I can tell he was a lot like me in that he basically never threw away any brushes ever. Because a lot of these are just like this. This is, whatever, this old fan brush. This doesn't move. There's so much dried paint in here, the bristles don't even move. And the little, it's barely even holding itself on to the brush itself. So some of these I'm definitely going to have to soak. Either in paint thinner or rubbing alcohol in order to get back to working order. But there's also some newer brushes in here. Most of them are very stiff as well, since he was an oil painter for most of his life. So, yeah, there's very few soft ones in here, which is probably a good thing, because all of my brushes are, or at least most of my brushes are very soft. So having some of these to lean on going down in the road should be really interesting. But this is going to be a fun brush to work with, specifically clouds and foliage and that kind of stuff, to really kind of get a different texture with. They kind of sell brushes like these now. My Blick Mega Brush is pretty similar, but it doesn't have quite the same spread and wear that this one does. So it should be rather interesting. And this is box number 2. Lot of stuff, lot of stuff. So this one, just a Tupperware container, this was his pencil box. And this is a box that I want to look through more extensively later. I kind of just looked through it briefly. And what made me really want to take this is that I started to see things in here that aren't made anymore. A lot of what's in that old pencil box and things like that that we started with. I noticed some brands and things in here, like, there's some new stuff. And there's just some old versions of stuff that's still made, but when I saw a couple of those pencils from brands that don't exist anymore and pencils that aren't made anymore, that kind of caught my attention. So I was like, this is going to be a fun one to look through. Nice basic straight edge. You can find these in the hardware store. Nothing special there, but, you know, massive spool of wire. I will not have to buy wire for canvases in a very long time now. Now, we got this. It is not pea protein powder, as it says. Inside of here are a number of water mixable oils. I'm not a huge oil person, but generally speaking, it's like, well, again, you don't pass up tubes of paint. Especially this is a Holden one, so this alone is probably worth a nice penny. But there's a whole bunch of these other brands that I've never heard of. This is I think an imported German one or something, or French. Pelican. These pretty heavily used. And there's some newer tubes in here that he looks like he maybe touched once. So we have a Georgian from De La Roni, newer water mixable oil. Some more brushes, also in really interesting little containers. And if it says anything about this one, nope, nothing on the bottom of this one. Kind of looking to see if there's even like a signature, but Yeah, again, yeah, this is completely hardened, this one. This is gonna need a really good soak. Like, I don't even, like, at least when it gets to this point, you gotta be like, okay, maybe you should have thrown this brush away. Don't know. There's a nice bamboo brush. And there's a couple of bamboo brushes in here. Yeah, these are all, they're really worn too. That's, yep, those bristles are completely hard. Those are mostly completely hard. It's just, and I thought I was bad at taking care of my brushes. Jeez. It's got these old, it's kind of old-timey glaze. None of them were probably ever worth anything, but yeah, this has a copyright symbol on it, so this was just probably some old home decor thing in like the 80s. Yeah, whole lot of other brushes, again, very worn. I like this short handle on this one. This is neat. Has some bristles are still pretty nice. I'll have to put some tape on here so it quits wiggling, but yeah. These feel like probably they were still used more regularly. They're fairly neutral. Literally, there are literally 3 hairs. 3 hairs on this brush. That's it. I was picked up like, is this just a stick? It's like, yeah, it's basically just a stick. 4 hairs. 4.5 hairs on that brush. So, needless to say, some of these probably actually will get tossed, but anything that I can try and salvage, I'm going to. Another interesting thing that I was told was a projector. When I thought projector, I thought, and not the slide projector, so I got the slide projector and I've got this. Which is electric, but it's not like something that has composite or HDMI cables in it, because that's when I think projector, that's what I was thinking. But I thought was an interesting one to pick up. This is a mirror box projector. So this section lifts up, and inside of this you would just place your drawing. It doesn't have to be transparent or anything like that. You can just place the drawing or photograph face down. It reflects it mirror image with the light and shines it onto a wall. So this is designed for things like painting murals and painting large scale stuff and being able to blow stuff up without the use of a big printer or anything like that. So this could be this is going to be a useful thing, but not all the time. I also have a stand for this too. I got a stand for this and a stand for the old slide projector as well. Those are probably going in the attic because I don't have the space for them anywhere else. But I'm definitely going to be interested in trying this thing out and seeing what I can do with it. It doesn't have a lens cap. It has a hat. So the last thing among all this stuff that I saw sitting in the corner was this very plain looking tackle box. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just, like a toolbox or something. So yeah, alright, whatever. There were some that were just like bags of tools. I'm like, I don't need bags of tools. I got bags of tools. So I was like, alright, what's in this? So I open it up, and I see all kind of fasteners. Fasteners, little nails. This is all stuff for framing. Picture frames. There's big batches of heavy-duty staples in here. And then I'm like, okay, oh, this is when I realized it's not just a toolbox, it's a tackle box, because this is going to angle up. And I angled it up, and I got every possible type of hanger, fastener, screw eye, sawtooth hook, glazing point. I will never have to buy this shit ever again. At least, maybe not. There's a lot of stuff in here. This is, these are all screw eyes, so when I wire canvases, just in there. Yeah, a lot of stuff. There's 1,000 glazing points, which I don't even really use, but yeah, so much stuff for framing and hanging things. So, yeah. So that is the stuff that I got from Jim's studio. Now that I see it all here in my studio, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put any of it. I don't want to mix the brushes in. I kind of knew that initially. I was like, I don't want to just mix them together with my brushes. I think I do want to kind of keep them separate also because he used oils a lot. I don't want to cross-contaminate my materials or anything like that. So my dinner's getting cold. I'm going to go ahead and finish this as well as look through this pencil box for some interesting things. Like, fairly certain that is a graphite stick. So, yeah, this is going to take me some time to kind of look through what's here and hopefully find some hidden gems at the bottom. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting for this stuff. Thanks guys for watching. I hope if Jim's family is watching that you didn't want any of this back at this point. I was told to take it, so I did. But honestly, this is I'm very honored to have this stuff, to have been just as a friend, have all this stuff passed on to, and in his legacy, I really hope I don't totally destroy the stuff that was his, but I know he'd be happy to give it to me if he was still around. So, thanks Jim, thanks Linda, and this has been from Cinderblock Studios, and I'll see you guys next time. This pencil belonged to Mike O. Wonder who Mike O is. Mike O is not getting his pencil back, I guess. This is just needed erasers.